G'day everyone, my name is Coolpilot, and welcome to a reaction and discussion of Pokemon Presents for the 25th anniversary of Pokemon. If you've been on my Twitter, you will know that I tried to do one of these for the Nintendo Direct last week. I actually did record it. It's 2.5 hours long in terms of the recording, but I've been having issues with sleep deprivation and tiredness. But I just haven't really been able to get much work done the last week. Very little work done, especially in comparison to everything I was getting done a couple weeks beforehand. Although focused on like writing and drawing and stuff. I haven't been working on videos, but I've been trying to get back into it right now, actually. But because of that, I wasn't able to get that far. I did do some editing, but just it was like pulling teeth trying to get it done, especially since I was trying to edit it down a lot because, 2.5 hours long, wanted to edit down more and do a lot more editing down than I did last time, where I was honestly edit out very little. But I was wanting to edit it down to make it more concise, take out some superfluous stuff and dead air and all that jazz. Do a better job of editing. One of the things I've been trying to do with more recent videos, before the current break that's been happening. But at this point, it's been a week. I only have it like maybe a quarter of the way done, and I think I just got to cut my losses. So decided to cancel, make the video. I'll make a little tweet thread after I'm done recording this before it's up. But, would have already happened before this is actually uploaded. But, make a little tweet thread over my basic thoughts. At least get like the main points out. And hopefully you're seeing this. And this is coming out within a few days of the video, the Pokemon Friends video actually coming out, instead of, trying to keep working on that direct and have it out, week and a half after direct happened. Gotta be a little more timely. And hopefully I won't have as much tiredness issues so that I can actually do that. Feeling a lot better today, so hopefully that will be the case. As for Pokemon Presents here, predictions, it's just Pokemon, so it's only so much you can really predict. And a lot of it's pretty easy. More information on Pokemon Snap. More information on, I think it's called Pokemon Unite, the mobile game. Maybe some info on the mobile game, since anything coming to it. Pokemon Masters and Pokemon Cafe, I think is what it's called. I'm not sure if that's what it is, the puzzle-y one. And obviously I expect news on what the Pokemon game for this year is. I expect there to be a Pokemon game, mainline Pokemon game this year. On the one hand, I want it to be Sinnoh Remakes. On the other hand, I'm dreading it be Sinnoh Remakes, because I'm dreading how they're going to screw it up, because the last two sets of games have not been good. Let's Go and Sword and Shield have so damn many problems. And I could get into them for an hour. Longer than that, honestly. I'm just hoping if it is Sinnoh Remakes, they don't screw it up. If they do it right, which also means grid-based. It's got to be grid-based, otherwise you're not doing it right, because you can't translate that to 3D properly. If they do try to translate it to 3D, I hope to hell that they took their time and did it right, because they have not been doing the 3D spaces well in comparison to the 3D worlds particularly well. And Sun and Moon weren't too bad. The lack of world puzzles, I guess, or route puzzles and things like strength puzzles, ice puzzles, rock climb stuff. They did at least have some rock smash stuff. Those sorts of things that were few and far in between. Bike puzzles. Those are in Sinnoh too. It's like translating that to 3D is going to be hell. This is why it really needs to stay grid based, because otherwise you're not going to be able to translate properly. But if you are going to try to degrid it, really work on making that work, because that's not going to be easy, especially when it comes to the ice puzzles. There have been no ice puzzles since Gen 7, despite it being a mainstay of the series. So, and obviously Gen 8 had no route puzzles, period, really. It went backwards compared to Sun and Moon, which at least tried. Didn't do a good job, but it tried, and I gave him credit for trying. I figured, oh, well, at least in the next gen, they'll be able to improve upon this, and you'll figure out more stuff to do with the 3D space. Instead, they did less. But that's an important thing, but also just, translating Gen 4 properly, because Diamond and Pearl have a lot of issues compared to Platinum. They need to copy Platinum more than they need to copy Diamond and Pearl if they're going to do 2 versions. You can still do 2 versions, but you need to copy Platinum more. There's still going to be the issue of if you're copying Diamond and Pearl, how are you going to do story stuff? Because honestly, the Platinum story is way better than Diamond and Pearl because of the changes they make. And the whole Distortion World business fits a lot better with Cyrus. To the point where even the Pokemon animated shorts that they did for you going through each of the generations, even they agreed that Cyrus and Giratina make a lot more sense as a pairing than Cyrus with either Dialga or Palkia. But we'll see. Other than that, I know there's been rumors of ports. I don't personally expect any of things like a Stadium or Coliseum, but I will be happy if they do. Let's see what they got for us. Also, I had to switch to doing this on my main screen instead of my tablet. 25 years of non-stop adventure. Because I gotten a few seconds into the video and realized, oh, this is really choppy on the tablet. And of course, I gotta do a whole history thing, just like they did. I swear, every time. That's got to be a remake of the original packs. There's no way that they're... Stadium games. They actually included that. Get it all pinball. There's a printer thing. They're just gonna say anime every time. I forgot about the mobile adapter thing. They're really just going over literally everything. And Cerebee's gonna love the fact that they're actually going over everything. Cable. I like the song on this, I will say that. The heck is that? I've never seen that before. GST. There's good old Pokewalker. Black and white. And triple battle. How you say rotation battle, but not triple battle? Really? See, easy to forget how old PTCGO is, and how little it's changed and improved. Little AR models. Which needs to come back. Also the best anime. Or best series of the anime. Good old art. Art training for the Pokemon. Still gotta do more with that at some point. It's a Pikachu outbreak. Pokemon Go. Just, yeah, trading card in anime, in literally every single one. Because they've been here the whole time. Even the shirts. And of course, Detective Pikachu. Gigantamax, awful. Oh god, even but didn't smile. Also forgot about that being on. And of course the little thing they did for New Year's. Pokemon design vehicles. So there's a good portion of the Pokemon Presents just... Hey, I guess I should have also included predictions. A long amount of time just spent going over the entire Pokemon history. Because they do that every time, I swear.
I'm Ishihara from the Pokemon Company. February 27th is the date Pokemon Red and Pokemon Green were released in Japan, marking the beginning of the Pokemon series. An astounding 25 years have passed since the Pokemon series was born.
Yep.
We've shared so much with you over the past 25
Started
years,
when I was 2 years old.
Games, but also through so many other mediums, thanks to the support you've all shown us. Thank you, each and every one of you.
Hello there, my name is Utsunomiya from the Pokemon Company. First, I'd like to give you the latest update on the new Pokemon Snap game. We've put together a video that will show you some of the gameplay. Please have a look.
Alright, more Pokemon Snap. Like the plushies in the background. At least one Pokemon game I can look forward to, at minimum.
Now then, let's get that research started.
Vivian, you're so pretty.
Wild Pokemon, you can discover behaviors and expressions that are rarely seen. And there's Vaporeon. Let's try throwing it a fluff fruit. That's it. Now's our chance.
Just getting him to react.
Oh,
The puzzle aspect of the game coming in.
what a wild way to eat. Here's a park at night. Let's try playing a melody. Oh,
Huh.
that sure made Hoot Hoot happy. You'll also have Illumina orbs, something the professor invented. If you use one of these, you can make any Pokemon glow.
Interesting.
Whoa! Those flames changed color. Make good use of your tools to take shots that really
So instead of
stand
just
out.
the fruit
Then,
pester balls, you
show
got
photos you
fruit,
took with the
song,
professor.
and
Oh,
a thing that just
fun.
makes them glow.
We captured a rare moment there. Catch a variety of different behaviors on camera to fill up your Pokemon photo decks. And there's more. You'll be able to edit the photos you've taken.
That's cool.
Use features like stickers and frames to make your favorite photos even more special. And I'm sure you'll want to show off your best photos, right? We know that feeling well.
Kind of a similar thing what they did in Sun and
It's time
Moon.
to go online. You can share your favorite photos,
Editing
check out
and,
photos
sharing
from around
photos.
the world. And if your
Only,
photo becomes popular,
and here it makes a little
might
bit more
even be
sense rather than
featured
just
and
going
get more
into like
attention.
a studio
Seeing
and take a picture of
something like
yourself
that
and your
may
Pokemon.
inspire you to go back and take even more photos. We're getting closer to the start of your adventure. Unexplored islands and plenty of Pokemon await in the Lentil region, so make sure you're prepared.
Metabody isn't hard.
Whoa! Is that
Celebi.
the mythical Pokemon Celebi? Get ready! The Lentil region is waiting for you.
And they do show different patterns of Vivillon on the cover. It's like, okay. I was a little worried. Is like, are they going to have the one basic pattern? Like, no.
Hope you're looking forward
Looks like they are
to
going to have
the
more patterns in there,
April
which is
30th.
good.
Next, I'd like to present the latest news about the Pokemon video game series. Have a look at this video.
What you got for us? Yep. Is it a remix? Yep. Better do good. You better do this well. Hey, they kept the good. And it's like a super chibi. So kind of weird. Really keeping to the original style of the sprites. Which I don't mind. It's kind of cute. Yep. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Still doing one of each. I don't know if it'll be able to pick up on any Platinum-y stuff just by looking at the footage, but we'll go back and look. See if there is. Platinum. Or maybe not.
This is a tale from a long, long time ago,
Not actual
when
game
the
footage.
Sinnoh region was still only a vast wilderness.
No
A certain
backstory?
village bustled with the comings and goings of people, while in the mountains and seas, Pokemon roamed as they pleased.
Coronet. Basically sort of like a Dawn and Lucas look-alike, but old school style. Old school Pokeballs. Not a huge fan of the apparent removal of battles to catch Pokemon here. And a weird mix of starters. It would seem like there might still be like the normal turn-based battles. Arceus. Giving Arceus its own game. Alright. I mean, I'm fine with that. Arceus getting a game centered around it. Goodness knows Arceus needed.
Two new additions to the Pokemon video game series, both taking place in the Sinnoh region. First, I'd like to present the Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Pokemon Shining Pearl games. These are faithful remakes of the Pokemon Diamond version and Pokemon Pearl version games.
I noticed. I'm glad you kept it 2D. Well, not 2D, grid, because that really is important, especially for Sinnoh of all regions. It relies so heavily on the grid.
These games will be developed by Ilka Inc., who also worked on Pokemon Home. The project is being directed by Yuichi Ueda of Ilka.
Interesting that they outsourced it. That would explain why it looks quite a bit different compared to how these normally work.
Rich in nature and with towering Mount Coronet at its heart, it is a land of many myths passed
Basically
down
like a
through the ages.
upscaled version of the original world. Because it was partially 2D sprites, but also 3D. It was a mix.
What did you think? Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Pokemon Shining Pearl will launch simultaneously around the world late this year.
The only issue with it being outsourced is that makes me even more concerned that they won't bring enough of the platinum stuff in.
Next,
because it really does look like it's just like an remastered Diamond and Pearl.
Represents a new approach for the Pokemon video game series.
We'll have to see.
Development is in full swing at Game Freak with the aim to deliver a gaming experience that breaks new ground for the Pokemon series. Please have a look at this video.
It is kind of interesting to see them make a new game out of like an old region.
In this era, people have journeyed to Sinnoh from all over and found it
like a little hint at like the Sinjo people.
More about this land. Even in this era, wild Pokemon can be caught with Pokeballs.
Frame rate on some of these Pokemon's not good.
In Pokemon battles alongside your Pokemon allies.
So you still have like the standard battles. But I still don't like the fact that they're removing, once again, like Let's Go, removing the battles, it seems, at least, from the catching process. Using Lucario against a Raptor is brave. Given it knows Brave Bird. And also close combat, which would actually be worse for it to use against you, but still.
As Pokemon celebrates 25 years, we will continue to challenge ourselves and deliver new ways for everyone to enjoy Pokemon even more. Thank you very much for watching.
Yeah, guess that's all. Indeed it is. Alright, so how much of that was just the frickin' recap? Jesus Christ. Or maybe I should say, Holy Arceus. All the recommendations. Yeah, it's like 5.5 minutes of the 20-minute freaking direct. Alright, so start at the beginning. Pokemon Snap. Let's mute here. Looking very, very nice. Like the only like major like graphical complaint I have is like this, the grassy stuff here is just, this doesn't look great. But everything else about this game looks wonderful. Graphically. Good style to a lot of stuff too. Vivian. I love Vivian so much. Do like their being like 3 ways to interact with Pokemon this time around instead of 2. With, you know, the fruit, the song thing, and you got the song there, and then the glow orb. Glow orb doesn't seem to affect much, at least at first glance. Except for, like here, it affects like what they're doing. The Swanna reacts, and the Ducklings react as well. but then it doesn't seem like it always has an effect. Here, Score Bunny is already kicking, and it just makes the kicks look different. So it seems like sometimes it'll just make things look different. Sometimes it will actually cause a reaction. So it's kind of more like 2.5 ways to interact with him, I guess. Because I don't personally consider just making a thing that's already happening look different to be a proper interaction. That's like changing things, just changing how it looks. But still, a little bit more interaction than last time, which I believe, I'm pretty sure last time it was just like the fruit and the pester balls. And removing the pester balls is honestly probably a good idea just for moral reasons. But the song is interesting. The music's an interesting way of, still having that extra bit of interaction. Shoot to sing and dance with you. It's cute. And definitely seems to be a lot of variety of things going on as well. Like, see, like you got these little guys, but you also have the Vivian flying around. Actually, hold on. Try and get like the very first few frames there when it swapped. I thought I saw something. I guess it's just water over on the left there. Surfing along Raichu, like even here. Okay, yeah, so like here, this is where I would have preferred being able to record this on my tablet so I can just draw with the pen instead of my mouse. But here you can see different type of Vivian in the background, so I like that they're doing that for the different environments. Then obviously you have Vaporeon here in the foreground, and get it to change what it's doing by eating the little fruit. Oh, it's so cute. And Tyranitar just one gulp. Magikarp in the background, the Pinsir there. And the Hoot there. And I see briefly there, like there was something on the side. Yeah, you can see the wings over on the right there. Right here. Looks kind of like a Beedrill. Could be something else. But at least it looks like a Beedrill. I apparently cannot... erase the red line on the right side of the screen. Whoops. Well, now I know not to draw on the very, very side of the screen that I can't access. And you have to be able to look around a little bit too, so you can see like the crows. Merc crows, there you go. Up in the sky, but then Swan and ducklings are out on the ground. There's that signpost from earlier. Oh, this is like that first area where you had like the Pichu and stuff, but at night. So you can see it's the same sign. Or it could be that this sign is in like multiple places, but it at least looks same. If we got a wider shot here. I mean, heck, there was even this shot. You can kind of see in the preview here. The same sort of sign there. And right there, see the mushrooms and stuff. And that does look like the same area the tourists are on. Although the tourists aren't there. Or were they Bouffalants? Those were Bouffalants, excuse me, not Taurus. Gen 5 Taurus. So it seems like you might be going through the same areas multiple times. Like obviously one is day, this is at night. But you're seeing different stuff at different times that you go through it. Which is interesting. Score Bunny, so cute. And what is that? This right here. I suppose it might just be scenery and a plant. Probably is all it is. Still looks a little noticeable. Sobble. Venusaur. Little Magikarp jumping out afterwards with the rainbow. which I'm sure would be an even better photo, but this still counts as a 4-star. And of course the whole scoring system. Pose, size, direction, placement, other Pokemon, background. So you can prove the other Pokemon in background by, being just a little later. Or I suppose, hitting one with the jump and then another one when it's in the water when you have the Magikarp in the rainbow would be a separate photo. You might get a little lower score on some of the other stuff, but higher score on the others. Credilli, Sobble, different stuff with Swanna. Right, and you have to get 1, 2, 3, and 4-star of each Pokemon. I think this is kind of how it worked in the original as well. Where's it going? Happy vibes. Noteworthy behavior. Swinging around. Clean cut. Isn't cut on some bushes. And being able to edit this. And this looks like... This looks like it's 3-dimensional, at least at first. As if like it saved like the position of the models almost. But I suppose it might just be a matter of like maybe it treats the photo like it basically like takes a snapshot, but it's like a bit of a semi-panoramic snapshot in which like as if it the game's treating it like it's curved in a way. Like a curved picture instead of a flat picture. Even though it presents it obviously as a flat picture. Because it does seem like there's a bit of a 3D effect to this. I could just be mistaken. Just horrendously mistaken. But at least how it looks to me. Now I get to edit the photos, which is a nice little feature. You're using the Sun Moon feature for something that it actually makes sense in, as mentioned earlier. I love how the miniature look on this. So pretty. And pheasant. I guess that flower might just be scenery. Blastoise is just chillaxing there, snoozing by the water. Wonder if you could wake up maybe with the song and write you off from the corner there. Good old Metapod using Harden. And I think it's a Pancham up there. Lotad, of course, Celebi. Celebi's getting a lot of love from Pokemon recently. So Cerebi is very, very happy about that. Then you had the mobile stuff. I did like when they were revealing this year that they had the little opening song there, even when they were showing like other scenes and stuff on the DS. And the DS fat too. But it's just a very iconic opening. Like Gen 4 really does have like the most iconic like opening theme in my IMO out of all the games. We see Mount Coronet, the little TV program, is game footage is not final, obviously. Be some things that might change. I do think the grass needs a little bit of a touch up in this. Experience brilliance once more. It is a little weird. The player models on this, or the NPC models here, it's like super chibi, but it is technically a very good representation of what the sprites look like. A much better representation than like what Let's Go Games or even Gen 6 did, quite frankly. Although Gen 6 was also trying to give, character customization into things. But, the giant head and little teeny tiny body, but the big feet. It is very, well reflective of how the sprites are. And allows them to, still fit within, like, same approximate amount of space. Of course, you got the little Switch console. Just kind of laying on the floor there. Updating from... Oh god, what was it in Gen 4? GameCube, I think, still. Or might have transitioned to Wii at that point. I don't know the main console releases at that point. But looking here at Twin Leaf Town, yeah, this is where like you see like there's. I mean, it looks nice. Like each individual part looks nice, but there is a little bit of clashing between, like, say, the buildings, which are, a little on the shiny side, almost looks like a little bit like a toy, and then like the ground, which looks completely different, like the trees, like they don't perfectly mesh with one another in terms of their style. They all look nice, but they don't fit perfectly with one another. Still all looks okay though. The city looks, it meshes a lot better. Because let's just, the manufactured ground here looks, artificial ground, at least, matches well with the artificial buildings. But still doesn't mesh particularly well with, like, the natural ground down here. So, you can also see some of the models there. Clown, Youngster, Ace Trainer. I think there's a Pokemon Ranger down on the bottom left. I will say, I like the updated. Come on. Pause there. Come on. The updated 2D art there on the sign. Happening and Chansey. The concert. Very cute. Also, just realizing. Had a little bit more red to get rid of there. And obviously, Floroma Town. Or is it Floromora? I think it was Flora. It's Flora and Aroma. Floroma Town, right? I'm still getting that name confused, even though we just went through that. Obviously, the berry patches there, all the flowers. But yes, it's still, see this? These buildings don't mesh perfectly with, this style of ground. They each look nice. It just doesn't quite fit. And, like, again, with the grass here, the grass is too shiny and plasticky. The battle area looks decent, though. Kind of going, like, for, like, a bit of a simplistic style to it. Oops, went too far back. Too far back. Keeping it simplistic, but still, keeping it simplistic in a way that makes it look nice. Oh, I like the Mount Coronet in the background. I did just now notice that. That's kind of cool. And obviously, the current models and stuff. As expected. I like the cave background here, too. I think that's the first text we're seeing. I suppose the thud looks okay. I need to see the regular text before commenting on the font. It really does have like a bit of a... It has like a bit of that Link's Awakening remake vibe. Looking kind of toyish. But it just doesn't quite work as well as it does in Link's Awakening. Things, in part, things like having a consistent style for each individual thing in the world. It still looks nice. I actually just now realized the water looks super good. It is odd how realistic that looks, but it looks really, really freaking nice. But oh yeah, and this is definitely the Diamond and Pearl opening too. Yeah. So here right away we can see some differences. Or at least this is Diamond Pearl, right? Yeah, because Rowan comes to you right away before you can step into the tall grass in Platinum. Whereas Diamond and Pearl, you go see them, you see them at the lake here, and they leave behind the briefcase, and then you get attacked, and then you pick your boat, right? So yeah, this is definitely Diamond and Pearl's story opening. Floon. I suppose I should comment on this right here. this looks really nice. But this is where we start getting into some of those concerns where this is very much 1-to-1. And it does lead to some concerns that it might just be like remastered of the original and not making appropriate changes or updates or additions. Obviously, Warburg Mines here, Catalave. This is like the little hangout area. I forget what it's called. Union area, I think, something like that. Interesting that they're bringing that back as part of it. But then further leads to the same concerns of, is this literally just Gen 4, but looking modern? Underground looks nice here. More battles. Yeah, pretty much just like the current animations and stuff that we already know. And obviously, because it's Diamond and Pearl, they each have the Dialga and Palkia statues instead of the kind of weird smorgasbord statue that's in Platinum. But yeah, I have concerns because Diamond and Pearl have issues that weren't just like the mechanical issues that Platinum improved on. Like, Platinum improved a lot on the story. Added a little bit, more bits and pieces to it. You improved some things. Added more encounters. Cause adding more encounters with Cyrus, you meeting him a lot sooner in Platinum than you do in Diamond and Pearl. It takes a very long time to meet Cyrus in Diamond and Pearl. More encounters with important characters. On top of the whole Distortion World things, Distortion World needs to be in this somehow. It's just gotta be. Obviously, if it's doing Dynamo Pearl, it's not gonna follow that story, but they gotta do something with it. That's one of the things that everyone clamors for is, including myself, seeing an update to Distortion World. Now, the Distortion World in this style, not quite, what people would have been expecting, but still, it just, because if Giratina is just regulated to the dumb cave that's confusing as hell to ever get through, it's like even knowing how to get through that place, it's still seemingly impossible half the time to actually get through it. Would be a shame. Not having interactions and discussions with Cyrus over the state of the Distortion World and Giratina. It would be a massive shame. If they just go through the normal Diamond and Pearl thing with Cyrus going through the portal into his new world. I'm pretty sure that's what happens at Diamond and Pearl. It's been so long since I played Diamond and Pearl. I'm pretty sure he goes through the portal, if I remember right. And the portal just closes. But if he does that, and he's not around for Distortion World, or unless that portal leads to the Distortion World, then you go to the Distortion World later, and he happens to be there already. Maybe they can do something with that. But having Giratina's story in there too, and so many other aspects. The event areas that are part of the region, because Gen 4 they had these different event areas between New Moon Island and the Flower Path. I don't actually remember if that's what it was called. To that Flower Island that I don't actually remember the name of. For Shaman, there's the New Moon Island for Darkrai. Hall of Origins for Arceus. Which, don't know if they would actually do that. Be nice. Maybe as do it as an event to tie into the Arceus game coming out. Let us fight it in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Be nice to actually fight that up there. In Diamond and Pearl. Then let's do it last time. It'd be nice if they also have like the Reggies in the game too. It's like, sure, yeah, you can get the Reggies with DLC in Sword and Shield and transfer them over, but having the Reggies in the rooms that they were in Platinum, to be able to get 2 Regigigas, because you need all 3 Reggies in your party. If they add the requirement for the 2 new Reggies and don't give you a way to catch them in Diamond and Pearl, I'll have problems with that. As it is, if they require you to get the Reggies, even the original 3, and don't have a way to get them in Diamond and Pearl, I'll have problems with that. I also don't remember. Hold on a second. All right, I was getting Diamond and Pearl strategy guide here, but I forgot I only had the Pokedex guide for Diamond and Pearl. The actual strategy guide that I have is for Platinum, which makes sense. I didn't get it for the original. Swarms. It just has like the post-game stuff, so maybe if that makes any mention. Rotom. I forgot Rotom was a post-game thing. That's another thing to keep in mind. Rotom was post-game in Diamond and Pearl, but not being able to get that during the course of the main game. Of course, one of the issues we got to talk about with Diamond and Pearl, the Pokedex. The Pokedex was not good. Like, it, this is the full national dex here. Yeah, it's the full national dex in this. But yeah, the regional dex in Diamond and Pearl was it had problems. It had a number of problems. The lack of fire types, the lack of access to a number of Pokemon, but like there weren't enough fire types. It wasn't fully fixed in Platinum, but it was fixed enough. Electabuzz and Magmar weren't accessible until post-game. So you couldn't get Electivire and Magmortar until post-game. And there were a number of like Sinnoh evolutions that you could not get until post-game. Like these new Pokemon in Gen 4, couldn't get till post-game. And it was annoying. Another issue will be, God, if they shortchange us on the Battle Frontier, I am gonna be pissed. Because like no matter what, they kind of have to give us the Battle Tower because Palmer. But even there was even like improvements to like the post game, right? There were improvements to the Stark Mountain and the Heatran storyline. Also, importantly, I don't think Looker wasn't in Diamond. I don't think Looker was in Diamond and Pearl. I think he didn't come about until Platinum, which that's important, like incredibly important story-wise, because he is a well-beloved character, and he's a very good character. One we've been missing this gen so far, because he was not in Sword and Shield. This is the first gen so far where he has not existed. So, if they don't bring him back, I'll be a little upset. But also like routing issues as well. Actually, before we get into the Arceus game, look at the map here. It's an original map. All right. So, right after going down Cycling Road through Route 207 through Mount Coronet Lower to Hearthome City, right? You don't actually fight the gym in Hearthome City right then and there. You have to sit and wait. Instead, you go on to I believe you go up through Salacion and then over through Veilstone, if I remember correctly. Yeah, you do. And you fight the gym over in Veilstone. Then you go down to Pastoria, and then you have to go back to Hearthhome to face the gym leader. Which is weird. It's like, it's okay, but facing the gym the first time through makes a little bit more sense. And there's the other issue too, is like Pokemon teams. Like some of the gym leaders, because of the lack of certain Pokemon in the regional decks, well, lack of certain Pokemon's, whether or not there are any regional decks, but the lack of certain Pokemon's availability, they have teams that aren't all of their type. This is especially true for Volkner and for Flint. Volkner had some non-electric types on his team, and Flint had a fair bit of non-fire types on his team because there were no fire types. And Platinum fixed that. Platinum also just improved the teams in general. Also changed Cynthia's team to be better, replacing the Gastrodon, which granted gave me the most trouble when I fought her, but that's because 2 over-leveled steel types and no more Roar of Times. And nothing that hit it for weakness. Best thing I had was Hydro Pump by Empoleon. So that's more a matter of my team. But replacing the Gastrodon with... what was it? Was it Roserade that replaced it? I want to say it was Roserade. But just giving a little bit more diversity to her team. And I think there were a few other changes to the team and the move sets as well that just made them a little bit better overall. So like there's a lot of things that Platinum improved, and I'm not seeing any bits of Platinum in that so far. We'll have a little bit more footage to go through after the Arceus game here. Obviously, you're talking about
a certain village bustled with the comings and goings of people, while in the mountains and seas, Pokemon roamed as they pleased.
So like the early days of catching Pokemon. Mount Coronet there. Don't know if it's really possible to gauge where any of this stuff is. The sort of watercolor-ish aesthetic to the nature here does really help to paper over some of the basic graphics. Makes it work a little bit better than in like Sword and Shield. Also befits sort of the style they're going for here. Do you like the character models? Or do you like how they're basically just Dawn and Lucas? This, I don't like. We complained about this so much, so many times, when they've done this before. Particularly, like Let's Go. Removing the battles from the catching is bad. It is bad for 2 reasons. Number 1, well, it's possible they might still level you up from catching here, but it's removing a lot of the interactivity from catching. Oh, I throw a ball at it. What to frickin' do? There's also the issue of the fact that you're having to, like, first off, aiming and throwing the ball. How are you throwing this? How are you aiming this? If this is you actually having to do physical throwing mechanics again, like Let's Go, that was trash. Throw that out. Knock that off. That is terrible. Not only is that sort of motion control just terrible in general, but it's also really, really bad for accessibility issues. But if it's with like you're aiming with a control stick or anything, how am I supposed to know where this is gonna land? Like, how am I supposed to know where I'm really aiming at? So you get that issue right off the bat. But removing the battles, like the whole point of Pokemon is the battles. Like, even when it comes to catching Pokemon, it's battling them, weakening them, and then catching them. You just throw a ball. What to frickin' do? There's some choppiness here. See that choppiness there? There's clearly going to be needs to be some improvements on some of these animations and stuff. I don't know why they're so choppy. It's like they shouldn't be. They're just using animations you already have, right? But yeah, again, just throwing the ball like this. Like what? Why is that so? Why is this? I always forget if this is Chingling or Chimecho moving at like 2 frames a second. And even the Bronzo in the background. Yeah, you can't really, just looking at the area here. Like maybe it's possible to map these areas to the Sinnoh map, but at least from first glance, it's not really something you can easily pick out. Even the Bronzo in the background weren't looking, we're looking kind of choppy. Wild Guard Chomp should presumably be in a late area. Also, the fact that Pokemon are roaming free and you're helping with the first Pokedex. Kind of leads to a couple questions. The Pokedex, what sort of technology exists in this seemingly old, ancient Sinnoh? Just see how they actually handle that. But also, what about trainers? I don't think we see, again, wild starters is weird to see. And then, there's the Badoo, choppy as can be. The gate of the village, bells and stuff. But we don't see a single trainer battle, I think. The starter choices are, like, I kind of get it, in terms of, like you already got like Sinnoh starters as first choices for the Sinnoh games for the Diamond and Pearl remakes. That desk in the background looks like a presidential desk or something. Still a little weird having this smorgasbord of starters. The choices are also interesting. Very odd set of choices. Cyndaquil from Gen 2, Oshawott from Gen 5, and Rowlet from Gen 7. I'm trying to think of like why these 3? Like pure fire, pure water, and grass flying into grass ghost. Okay. Odd. Like, as much as I love Oshawott and its line, it honestly would make Rowlet kind of an easy choice. Just because the dual typing is the only one with the dual typing. Well, these people are coming into Sinnoh from elsewhere, so it makes some level of sense that bringing stars from elsewhere, but just the specific selection they went for. And then I want to hear the song again here. This update to Arceus' theme. Well, actually, that didn't actually sound like Arceus' theme at all. Look at a little bit more of these scenes. Go back a little bit. The black on the Pokemon Center is an interesting choice. Looks cool though. Any evidence of looker? None you can see. Double check here. Roma down. Then outsourced. It's weird that they're outsourcing it. I don't remember there being wild guard chomp. Something going on in the background there. Right here. You also have a big tree here and a big rock here that it looks like you can go to. I'm just got that Chimchar animation. Yeah, they got work to do on these animations. Why are they so choppy? It makes no sense. Yeah, here you can see this is Pokemon. You got 6 team members. Glade's level 70. Doesn't give you the level of the Garchomp. Look at that. There's a Garchomp health bar, no level. Oh, in male, but no level. Why no level? It's concerning. And slash, false swipe, close combat, aerial ace. Yeah, some relatively normal moves for a Glade. But Wild Garchomp. No. Still no signs of there being trainer battles yet. Which is a concern. And obviously Arceus is involved somehow. It'd be nice getting more lore on it. Hold on. We got some news here right here. Hey, I can do dodge roll for some reason. So I better look at the village. Is that one of the lakes? Come on, back a little farther. I mean, I would have to imagine that that's one of the lakes. Either like Lake Verity or Lake... Is it Acuity? The southeast one. Acuity might be the northern one, no. And I don't remember what the third one is called. If I had to guess, this is probably Lake Verity. I don't know, it could be the southeast one just because of that. The little canyon over here. To get to it. Again, wild battles, no signs of trainer battles. Whatever the heck is happening in the background there at that one place. Like, seriously, what is that? I'm just trying to gauge what the heck that is. Looks like a bunch of geysers or something constantly erupting or something. It's weird. And you had that little forest scene too, which I kind of skipped past. Right, I didn't pause there in time. A little piece of ruins as well, which is odd. Especially if these are supposed to be, maybe the first, but maybe they're not the first people there. It's just not a lot to go off of for either of these games. Like, the Arceus game clearly has a lot more problems. They're going to have a lot more inherent problems here between the lack of battling to catch, it seems. No sign of trainer battles. All the people are at this village, and you go out and explore the world. Well, that's going to be one hell of an empty world. And again, there's still the issues of that plagued 3D games, particularly Sword and Shield, even more so than Sun and Moon, but it's going to affect this game just as much if they don't do something to just actually work on it, and there's no signs that they're doing anything to work on it, which is lack of interesting things to do, to challenge you on a route or an area. It's just basic exploration, and that's it. And the thing, obviously, I'm concerned about the remakes is, do they bring in enough of the Platinum stuff in terms of the Pokedex, the teams are fighting, in terms of like trainers, gyms, Elite Four champion, the routing of the gyms, some of the other tweaks and changes and stuff, if they include those. Looker, the Battle Frontier. I want the full wing Battle Frontier. Battle Tower is boring. It is awful. It has always been the worst battle facility to ever exist. The other ones are interesting and cool and fun. And everyone has their favorites. No one particularly cares about the Battle Tower. No one. But tons of people have fond memories of all the different battle facilities from Gen 3 and Gen 4. And the cool, unique ways to fight them. You fight in them. Need those back, quite frankly. But also, issues like Giratina and Distortion World. Obviously, we'll get more information on these games as time goes on. But those are still major concerns that I have. I am glad, though, very glad, to see that the Gen 4 remakes are at least trying to stick to the original games in some capacities. There are things, again, we need to deviate from Diamond and Pearl to include a little bit more of Platinum into there. But, in terms of like the world, you're keeping it as is, which is good. That's what you should do. I don't think we see a single rock climbing spot in any of this, though, because they don't show any place that has them. Yeah, they don't show any rock climb areas. But I mean, that should still be in there just fine. There shouldn't be any issues with that, because they're doing the grid. Good. I will say the models look a little bit nicer here of the Pokemon. It's the same models, of course, but texturing does matter. And how it gets presented. It might still be the same textures, but maybe like slightly different lighting, perhaps. But it blends in a lot better and fits a lot better with this style. So yeah, it's mixed opinions. The Diamond Pearl remakes is really going to really depend on how much platinum they include. That's going to be the big remaining issue. How much platinum do they include? And how much do they stick to Diamond and Pearl? Stick too much to Diamond and Pearl, I'm not going to care for them as much. Add in more platinum, I'll freaking love them. The style is a little, doesn't quite fully work, but you know what? It's good enough. Good enough. Arceus game, I'm really glad they're giving a game dedicated to Arceus. Still want to be able to fight it in Diamond and Pearl remakes, but want to fight it in the Hall of Origin in Diamond and Pearl remakes, but I am glad that they're finally giving it its due. People will finally get another Arceus set. That would be nice. More Arceus cards. Unfortunately, we're going to miss out on being able to get a Fairy Arceus card. We technically have a Dragon one because of ADP, but it would be nice to get a proper Dragon Arceus card. But we're not going to get either of those now. Annoyed. Just because TCG changes. But there are still, a lot of the same sort of concerns I've had. Sword and Shield, only added with, now we're not fighting to catch. Now, where are the trainers? What's going to be out there for me to fight other than just wild Pokemon? Or is it literally just going to be wild Pokemon? Like, how are you going to make the routes and areas interesting beyond just explore it once and what everything is? How are you going to challenge me on these routes beyond just, there's a tough Pokemon to fight there? How are you going to make the route traversal interesting in the ways that all of the pre-Gen 7 games do really well and Gen 7 does okay-ish? That Gen 8 just completely, utterly failed on. So there are some concerns there. Pokemon Snap looks great, though. So at least no matter what, I got one game I'm looking forward to, just all around. Diamond and Pearl, mixed feelings. It's again, could depend on the platinum thing. Platinum stuff. Arceus, we really need more info. Also, they really need to work on that a lot more. It is clear that's not coming out for a couple of years. If the animations are that choppy. So yeah, a bit of a mixed bag, but there's things to look forward to, at least. And at least they're trying. It does seem at least that they're trying. Although the fact that Diamond Pearl get outsourced kind of means that they're expecting other people to try for that one. So, like literally, Pokemon Snap, and not okay, Bando, okay. Actually, what is the name of that company? I always forget. Bandai Namco. Okay. There we go. So yeah, developed by Bandai Namco, not by Game Freak. Diamond and Pearl remakes. Outsourced to Ilka. And it at least looks okay to start. Still gotta learn about if they included more, whether it's just straight up Diamond and Pearl or if they include more platinum stuff. Damn, I hope they include platinum stuff. And that is concerned with being outsourced, that they might not make those sorts of improvements. Because like Oris didn't bring in enough Emerald as they should have, but there's at least bits of it in there. And they did something for Rayquaza and even brought Deoxys in there. And they try to make it interesting. It's also an issue of can I have Megas, maybe? Please? That would be nice. Probably won't get any information on that until later. But it being outsourced brings some concerns there that it might just be straight up remaster. But on the other hand, maybe they'll do something interesting with it. But still, what I'm a little more mixed on is also outsourced. Now, the one that Game Freak is developing is the one with the most apparent issues. Game Freak's been in a weird spot of late. And it's a bit in a bad spot, honestly. And it's a bit of a shame to say. Because I'm not some Gen 1er here. I mean, I started with Gen 4. That's why I'm looking forward to this so much. Getting run into by Barry over and over and over again so much. But, I've consistently held that up until Gen 8, the worst games are the first 3 gens. The worst are first gen, second worst is second gen, third worst is third gen. First 2 gens are broken and there's a lot of issues with them. Especially with the special stat and everything. Gen 3 made a lot of improvements, but the lack of physical special spirit and the crappy movesets that still existed, on top of Hoenn and all of its water, which is actually a legitimate issue. Yes, there is legitimately too much water in Hoenn. That still drags it down a little bit. Gen 4 is the first one that I think really started to make things right. With physical special split, vastly improved movesets. But even then, Diamond and Pearl still had some issues that Platinum had to fix. Like the fire type issue, the Pokemon diversity, and not being able to get some of these new Pokemon in Gen 4 until post-game. Because you couldn't freaking get the Pokemon. You couldn't get Electabuzz. You couldn't get Magmar. I don't think you could get Porygon until post-game. I don't know if Platinum fixed that either. But still. And I know there were some of the others in the Gen 4 evolutions that you couldn't get until post-game. And it was annoying as hell. And, some of that was improved in Platinum, on top of all the other issues. And I've long held that each generation after that was consistently getting better overall. Some aspects of each generation would be better or worse than the other gens. Best gen for story, Gen 5. Best gen for region design, not counting post-game, Gen 6. The routing and the diversity in terms of each individual routes, how memorable they are. Really well done. Gym routing wasn't the best because the second gym was a bit too late. Should have been shuffled up to the city on the cliffside, which I'm blanking on the name of, where the fossil place is. Fossil restoration is. And there's too many of the gems packed over, and you're just done really quickly in a row on the right side of the region, east side of the region. But the region design itself, expertly done. And the level scaling was expertly done too. Too easy, but difficulty. The black and white games, both of them, and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, great in terms of difficulty, as was Platinum. Platinum was pretty good in difficulty, although a little bit of that was artificial, but in terms of like overall difficulty, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, yep, the best in that regard. Unique mechanics, Gen 6 did the best with Megas. Although the Z moves were okay. They were okay. They weren't god awful. Like Dynamax's. Dynamax is only not god awful in doubles, which only matters for competitive and not for literally anything else. So multiplayer. Gen 6 did that best too. Gen 6 was a high point for a lot of things. It just failed in a lot of other things. So Gen 7 was able to improve upon it by being more average in some of those aspects that Gen 6 really failed on. But then it was worse in other aspects, like the multiplayer. But just like overall, I kept seeing like each generation was making an improvement to Pokemon overall. Even if it was always 2 steps forward, 1 step back, it was still 1 step forward each time. But Gen 7 was 1 step forward, 10 steps back. Like, the Go games, the Let's Go games, and Sword and Shield have so many problems. So dang many. And some of those, particularly when it comes to the Sword and Shield and the problems that the 3D environment and open world stuff that they're trying to create, are not easily solvable. They're going to take some real thought, and there's things that I don't even necessarily know how to solve. Like, how do you do the world puzzles that have long been a part of every Pokemon game that were completely missing in Sword and Shield? Like, strength puzzles and Rock Smash stuff, which Rock Smash isn't really much of a puzzle, but it's a thing you gotta do, Gen 7 did those, okay, they just completely dropped it. But you still have issues how do you do, say, like rock climb stuff for Gen 4? How do you do ice puzzles? That's a nightmare to try and do in 3D world, because the reason why that was always done in grid stuff. That dumb kid's up with the ATV again. Suppose I should probably wrap this up at this point. But there's a lot of issues that they need to start, that they presented, the choices that they decided to do, changes that they decided to make, that they need to start solving. And they haven't been doing a good job of that on all of the Switch games so far. So I'm hopeful that maybe Game Freak can start getting their act together, start making the improvements, changes that they need to make. But at first glance, it seems like they're introducing more problems. So we'll need to wait and see more when this Arceus game is more in development. But first glance is not great. I hope they can prove me wrong. I suppose that'll be it for now. Hope you enjoyed my discussion of it, my take on these games. Because I don't want to be so critical of Pokemon, but I've had to be this last gen because they've just forced me to. Given they were consistently making me happy every single gen, it's like, oh, this gen's even better than last gen, and then they just went, pfft. Yeah, I could be critical until they prove to me that they've kind of proved to me that they can make good Pokemon games again, because it's been a while now. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon was the last good Pokemon game in my eyes, so hopefully they can do that. Yeah, that'll be it for now. I'll be getting back to doing my Platinum randomized Nuzlocke and Inkfell playthrough soon. Gotta finish that Nuzlocke now, because we're gonna have Brilliant Diamond and Shiny Pearl to get through soon. I am curious about the whole shininess aspect that they're going for in these names, what that's supposed to signify. But that'll be it for now, and I will see you guys next time.